Good YouTube, Cardfight King here, Aqua Life, you already know. We got Black Steve's Dark Regular deck. Somebody wanted that joint. I like the deck. We have a little challenge on Cardfight Air that we do, but I'll talk about that later.
Yeah. First things first, I'd like to give a shout out to Domino Paris 21. You know, I talked to him about the deck profile, the deck and everything. He gave me little pointers about the twos. So this is basically what he helped me with out. So start off with the starters. Werebat Ordinance is the best starter for the deck. Basically, you counterblast one, you soul charge two. If you have 6 or more cards in soul, you get to draw a card. This is the best starter for the deck. I feel like because you get to have 6 cards. You get to get 3 soul right off the bat. And then this is another card I run is Enigmatic Assassin. This is probably the best card in the deck. My favorite cards in the deck because it's so dangerous. Well, it's one of the darkness cards. Like that's their main keyword, darkness. And during the attack step, at the beginning of your attack step, if you have 10 or more, you can call it out from the soul and it gets +5. But if you have 15 or more, you can call it out. It gets an additional +10. So basically, if you have 15 or more in soul, it gets +15k. So that's actually really good. And also, you can you can swing. Then since the attack step is for boosting, you get to call it and then boost with it, which is really good. Make very devastating plays with the finisher in the deck. And then on to triggers. I run 7 crit. I run the Nightmare Land, Dark Knight of Nightmare Land over more. I run 4 of this and just 3 of this because I like him because you can, if you ever need soul, you don't want to put it in the battle phase. This is the best card to go into, and you can just pump up units by +3. Everything. This is good for Scharlot. You know, early game. Get some soul +5 in the draw. Fix your bad hands. I really like it too. It works well with the Scharlot stride as well. And then run 3 monochrome Nightmare Land. I like this card because it's the best ways to unflipping damage in the deck. You can kind of chain it at the same time because if you have 6 or more, you soul charge and then unflip it damage. Well, you soul charge first when you shuffle it back into the deck, and then if you have 6 or more, you unflip it damage. So you have 10 or more, you have to draw a card. So you can fix your hands, unflip damage. Sometimes you can even get another one, get the same copy if your deck's low enough. So it's pretty nice. You can just fix your hands and get some extra soul out that. I run two Hysteric Shirley just for the fact that it's an easy 2 soul.
Yep.
So you don't want to run. I found out the hard way. You don't want to run more than 3 draw triggers in the deck anyway. So yeah, and then 4 heal triggers. Enough said. And on the grade 1s, I run 4 the Darkness Perfect Guard, Succubus of Avarice. This is probably one of the better grade 1s in the deck for the simple fact that back in the day when you played Dark Irregulars, you soul charge a Perfect Guard. It was well damn, what am I gonna do? But this time, once you're at GB1 and you soul charge that turn, if it's in the soul, you can retire a grade 1 or less rear guard and add it to your hand from the soul. So that's actually a really good value and everything. Late game, that actually comes in handy a lot. You'd be surprised how often you'll be going into doing the ability.
And she has darkness.
Darkness, which is searchable through another card I'm about to show you. 4 Stride Enabler. You have to run 4 Strides Enablers until the new promo comes out. This is what you have to run. And then last grade 1 is Serpent Charmer. This card is really good for the simple fact that it's also darkness, but also if you have 10 or more cards in soul, it gets +2. It's non-GB for that instance, and it gets a red text when you have 15 or more, where you can choose 13 cards in your soul, keep them in the soul, and then send the rest of the cards back so that can draw a card. We have to retire this unit, so this is what you want to have if you can't get to your backup grade 3 Sullivan to send cards back to the deck so you don't deck out. Because components will try to play around that, but it's a really good card. Now on the 2s, best 2 in the deck is Demented Executioner.
So good.
Yeah, his ability is when he's placed in the rearguard circle, you get to check the top 7 for a darkness card. So the main card you want to get in the soul is Enigmatic Assassin because that sets up your finishing play. Like
we're gonna go over that play for people who.
Yes, that is the main card that you want in the soul, but it also gets other card like you either want to put in Assassin or the Perfect Guard just so you can search it. That's basically the main because almost all the grade 2s are darkness. So the next grade 2 is Doppel Vampire. You know, it's a silent time. He had 15 or more in the soul. But it also gets +5. You have 6 or more in the soul. It also is darkness as well. So that's another card. The last darkness grade 2 we run is Tragic Claw. I'm iffy about this card for the simple fact that I always soul charge him for some odd reason. Never have him on the field. But what's good about him is that when the card is called, his first ability is Vanguard Rearguard, so you can ride him and call a card behind him and soul charge. So you can soul charge as long as every time you put a card in the same column as him. So that's pretty nice. And also, like if you it gains boost if a card is called in the same column as it. It gets +2 if you have 15 or more in the soul, which is pretty nice. That's a really good value. And then last grade 2 I run is Flying Librarian. You know, it's a value card. You know, kind of it's 8K. I don't really like it as much, but you can get around it. You counterblast.
New promo comes
Yeah, still new promos come out. You know, counterblast 1, soul charge 2. You get to draw a card if you have 6 or more. If you have a 10 or more, you can unflip that damage. So it's basically replacing itself. So it's a free call. So on to grade 3s. Main grade 3 is Scharlot Vampire. Like this is the main. This is what you really want to be on, in my opinion, because its stride ability is when you stride on top of you, counterblast 1, soul charge 2. Then it gives you the abilities when your Vanguard attacks. If you have 6 or more in the soul, your opponent chooses a card to retire. So that's a nice control option. Everything. It's a GB2 ability. I have never actually had to use GB2. You shouldn't have to, but it gains 10k in extra crit if you have 10 or more in the soul. Well, actually, it gets 10k if you have 6 or more, and extra crit if you have 10 more. So, yeah, but you don't want to have to be a GB2 and not be using skill. So yeah. Backup grade 3 is my favorite card in Dark Irregulars, Sullivan.
See, that's not my favorite grade 3. Charlotte is. But
yeah, this card is like important because it gives you access to Tybalt late in the game, where if you couldn't kill your opponent while you're on Charlotte, you're able to go into him and then stride and send your whole deck back. And late game, all your guards can gain 10k. So his ability, if you don't know it, is if you have 15 or more in the soul. You have 15 or more in the soul when your opponent is attacking you. You can all your guardians will gain 10k. So that's really nice. But the only thing is, if you have 15 or more and they attack you, you have to soul blast 2. So that's the only downside to his ability. And also he has the on-ride ability where you can choose one of your rear guards and you get to search your deck for up to as many copies of that card as you want and put them into your soul. So it's really good. I actually prefer sometimes not having Charlotte and having be on him is not that bad, just because you have more defensive options and you still have access to all the strides as well. You know, the Charlotte stride doesn't require Charlotte heart, so that's actually really good. So on to the stride deck. Okay. First stride you have is Mask of Demonic Frenzy Erixus. This is probably the first stride you want to go into.
Setup stride.
Yeah, setup stride, because it gains the ability Darkness, where basically if you when it attacks, you soul charge 2, and it gains the ability on hit ability where if you have 6 or more you get to choose when your opponent chooses one of their cards to retire. So basically, when you stride on top of a Scharlot, you get to possibly retire 2 cards in their field. And also, if you have 15 or more in soul, he gains 1k for each card in your soul. So this is probably the best stride you want to go into for the control matchup. This is what I usually stride into the most times, unless I have a G guard where I go into Scharlot. Then next stride, I never go into them. It's only I go into this is Frederick. I only use him if
Assassins in the hand.
If I drew into an assassin, I need to put it into the soul, and then that's basically what I use him for. I can't find my Kiss Kill Liara. Like if I had it, I would use it. Sorry, but
you're not sorry.
I rarely ever go into him. Anyways, on to the next one. Run one's a breeze. I don't have to explain this card at all. You need to, if you run a GB deck, you have to run it. 3 Blade Wing Tybalts. This is for Sullivan. So you really want to go into this late game if you that's the ideal. You want to go into him late game when you ride into Sullivan. So that's basically how I see it. But you get, I mean, I was thinking about cutting down one because I don't see myself going into more than 2 of them. But more, I guess, what does it say in Clay? Like more is better than none, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
I guess
it's better to need it. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Exactly. Basically.
Like a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oddly enough,
then
sex ed class.
2 1 Steeped in Sin Scharlot. This is actually one of my favorite cards in the deck, for the simple fact that he gains the Darkness ability, where when he attacks the Vanguard, if you push all your rear guards to the soul. If he has 10 or more, you retire your opponent's board. If you have 15 or more, your opponent can't guard with Sentinels. So this is a really good card. It's a really good. Really good mid game stride. You know, it can be a finisher. It can be, but in my opinion, it's more of a mid game because most Dark Regular players know that the card I'm going to show you next is the main finisher for Dark Regulars, and that's all I can really say about it. He's like a really. I'm actually liking him a lot because if I go first and I have a G guard, if I have a heal trigger in hand, I can G guard where my opponent rushed me. And I can gain some momentum back by retiring their board. So that's actually a really good. It gives Dark Irregulars a really good control feature, and like putting pressure on at the same time. So I like this card a lot. And then the main grade 3 in the deck, main grade 4, is Guild Race. This card is easily the best card in the Stride deck. For those who don't know this ability, it's if you have 2 or more cards in the G zone, it gets an extra critical. But it also, if you have 10 or more, if you get 10 or more in the soul, it gets 10k, and if you have 15 or more, it gains guard manipulation. So this is like your main finisher. This is what you really set up for when you have assassin, because when you attack, you have 15 or more. Call assassin. So that's during your attack step, and you call it out. Since you haven't boosted yet, you boost with assassin. That's a 56k lane. So that it usually takes to guard this. It usually takes 2 G Guardians, depending on which G Guardians it is, and then another 0 for it. And that's sometimes maybe even a 1 to pass, and that's it.
That's annoying.
Yes, it is annoying, but it is what it is.
Idea what it is.
It is what it is. And then to the G Guardians. Run 2 Saint Germains. It's actually really nice that. It's actually pretty nice that it gains 10k whenever you have 10 or more in the soul, and if you have 15 or more in the soul, you get to choose as many units as you want and give them resist. I actually like this card a lot. Like against Messiahs, you know, like the first attack, you can just choose your whole board, and give them resist because a lot of Messiahs like locking during the battle phase as well, so you can play around that. And then you have two of the false dark wings. That's all I'm gonna say. His second name is really really hard to say, but this is a mandatory soul. When you call it, you mandatory soul charge too. If you have 6 or more in soul, you get +5. So this is generic first G Guardian. It's 31k one. But yeah, that's the deck right now. This is like probably the deck I had the most fun playing with right now. I like playing it more than Gears now. I just needed a break. I was playing Gears for like the past
Every single competitive tournament.
past 3 or 4 months, yeah. So it's like a pretty nice, a really nice change of pace, I guess you could say.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Black Steve. Oh, sure. All right, we'll see you guys in another video. Clinton, you're up.
For what?
Neon.
That Stride's name is